Welcome to 110 Talk, where we elevate the discussion and nothing is off the table. Meaning, anything that is a relevant topic is not something that we are afraid to address. I'll talk about anything, I'll talk with anyone, as long as it's relevant to the discussion. 110. I want to talk about it. It's definitely a mindset. It's about understanding that nothing worth achieving is easy. Sometimes we can have a breakthrough and it seems to come easy, but then the challenge can quickly become, how do I sustain that? How do I allocate resources, time, energy appropriately? It's really about understanding that anything is possible. It's going to take a little extra to dig deep. Trump, Musk, alliance unravels over big, beautiful bill. I think we all saw this coming. I think we have all seen what happens to a lot of people that come into the president's orbit and then filter out. It mentions something about forming another political party in America. That is such an important idea. We cannot forever sit on systems that are broken. I do believe that we have to look at democracy in a lot of different ways. One of them being a third party that's viable, maybe changing some of the structure. We should look at popular vote instead of electoral college, or revising some of the system as it stands now. One of the reasons why I like Trump is because he is disruptive. He's going to take his powers as far as they can go, but he is disruptive to systems that have been in place for so long. In a way, he is the perfect catalyst for that type of reform. Y'all hear that bird? Judge threatens to remove Diddy. This whole courtroom debacle. The 90s glamorized the big famous courtroom drama, of course, with O.J. Simpson. It has evolved because this is a very famous person. Everybody feels the need to know what's going on. Why don't we let justice take place? Focus on our own lives. We have this unhealthy obsession with celebrities' lives. Diddy deserves his day of court. The alleged victims deserve their day in court. Yes, we want to know the outcome when it's done. We want to know journalism, the who, what, when, why, how, as things are determined. Corporate layoffs. As the internet was becoming prominent, people were saying, this is not the world that our parents lived in. This is not the world of stay with the company for 30 years. I think we really need to think about, how do we open more pathways for people to pursue what they want to be pursuing, have multiple streams of income, be open to this contract type of structure. With that, the companies have to adapt their management structures, their rules for employees, work from home, move to results oriented actions and less clocking in, tracking every move. There's got to be some freedom. Feel free to join me for this meditation. Close your eyes. I want you to remember a time not too long ago. It is almost summer, the final time to do our spring cleaning. The question that I would ask you is, where does that show up in your life? Where do you see 110, either for yourself or even for others that you observe? And I actually see it quite often. The restaurant owner, who not only is the manager of the kitchen and the entire establishment, but he also owns the restaurant, manages the employees, does the finances. Nobody handed him anything. He is jack of all trades and he makes it work. And I think whatever professional situation you might find yourself in, I feel like because the world is changing so rapidly, we all have to wear more hats than we used to. It builds our resilience. It helps us to adapt to new settings and situations. And it's something that's going to serve us for the long term. Back to the remix. remix. Myself and the partner that I work with, she was very enthusiastic about ideas for this podcast. The first one that I wanted to introduce, this idea of the remix mindset. It of course relates us back to the music. It's also very applicable to real life. Now, I love a remix. Let's think of a setback. That thing happened to us. The bones of it were good. We could take this idea again and we can reposition it to the world. Everything is compartmentalized. Everybody sees different things. Yes, you can remix that outfit. Take a photo or a video and you can do some slight editing, make it something entirely different, even though you recorded it last year. News headlines. I say news loosely because sometimes the news is not actually news, it is opinion disguised as news or clickbait. One of my pet peeves is when the publications use unflattering pictures of people that are actually very beautiful and handsome in real life, but they use these unflattering pictures from weird angles with bad lighting and horrible headlines to try to entice the viewer to click. A very cheap version of clickbait. Southern Baptists endorse overturning ruling on gay marriage. I debated whether I wanted to breathe more life into it. We must always protect the LGBT community. If we don't protect every community, the taking away of freedoms slowly encroaches to each other community. Fighting against something, especially something that does not affect your own life, I think that is a losing strategy, especially when it relates to love. People use hot button cultural issues to get us all fired up and distracted. This Southern Baptist church denomination is trying to get people fired up because their denomination is failing and it is not bringing people towards faith. Fear and division is not the way to build faith. Los Angeles ICE protests. I think it's great that people protest. I think that is a right that we have in this country that cannot be taken for granted. Trump is always going to take his power as far as it can go. This is who we elected, people. I think the bigger issue is leadership. What we really need to get to is comprehensive immigration reform. There have been many great ideas. Nothing has been passed. We have to get basic framework people across the aisle can vote for, also accounts for regional nuances. If we get more divided in this country, I don't know how possible that is. Sometimes it feels like we are very divided. We risk going into another civil war and splitting off. This country still being so young, we still have a leadership role who blazes a path forward for the rest of the world. We are not better than anyone, but we can help steward a better planet for the entire world. Doing a version of a meditation that is based in music. Songs without vocals can really inspire ideas, creativity. This is a song that I called Parallels.